This meeting is being recorded.
All right, so Len, let me ask you a couple of questions about the model that you're trying to build, so that way I can show you um,
Yeah.
how I would approach building an economic model here in Copilot. So I
Yeah.
guess the question I have for you is what exactly is the problem or the um, model that we're trying to build to resolve, whatever issue.
Yeah. I guess I'm trying to build a model to understand a graph to understand how much this week, every week it's a different graph we should be making. And when we do the discussions, this is something I want to add to my discussion under the additional comments from now on. So we all of my people that are trying to learn this will be able to learn whatever you're teaching me today. I'm gonna put it up there in our discussion group, a
Okay.
graph for each one. This week's graph would be about the tax loss and the amount of GDP and the amount of GNP in the Prince George's County or DC government budget. Because I'm an ANC commissioner, and we just did the budget for 2025, and
Okay.
I work with PG County, DC, Montgomery, and Alexandria, and Arlington. So this would be the type of graph we would be using. Well, at least after this class, it will be.
Right. So an economic model, an example to show tax loss.
Well, yeah, right. This week you wanted to know the what was the tax loss. Let's say the first figure would have been operating, the seller would have been able to sell something at $13 with, let's say, a demand of 15 units. And then let's say it was a $15 tax levied on whatever. I guess it couldn't be 100% tax. So I guess let's say the sale price would be $150, and it was a $15 tax, because it's around 5 to 10% in this area, the tax rate.
Sure.
And that's literally one of the questions on the quiz, right? And position A, that would be position A where it was at, and you said a downward slope. So position B would, I guess, be at a price that would probably raise because of the tax burden to like $20 to $250.
Okay.
With the 15%, with the $15 tax, it might raise up the price, right?
Right.
So I think that's pretty much the model of the question I seen in there.
Sure. And is the tax loss based off of a reduction in the quantity demanded? Is that why we're seeing a loss, or is it because of it?
I guess the quantity demanded would go down immediately when the seller would have a lower profit point because of the tax. So each unit that it sells at $150, when you add the 15% tax on it, or I don't know if it's 15% or you said $15. That's a big difference. If it's $15, then it shouldn't change from 150 that much. You know what I mean?
Right.
$15, right? But if it's 15% tax on $150, that's going to substantially change the ratio.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at, and the price is going to have to become elastic and
Right.
squeeze up, and the demand would be on a downward slope.
Got it. So let's think about this here for a second. Based on change and change in tax rates. Show all steps taken to build a model. Okay.
It made one for me last test, but I didn't have the wherewithal of doing it before.
Sure.
I was drawing it out the drawing part is the part I had the numbers right. I was going to show how I got the equation right? But I couldn't get the drawing part. The drawing part, actually drawing it in the boxes and getting the number to drop in. And it started out right, but then I couldn't get the second number where I was talking about the surplus.
Sure. Yeah. No,
The price and the demand one, like the regular box that goes up and like this, the quantity and the price was easy lines to do. But when you add 3 or 4 of them going diagonally with the cost and then the compensation for the workers and all that stuff, was a little bit harder to do.
Got it. This is pretty similar to the example I showed you a few weeks ago, or whenever that was.
Yeah.
So right now, so what I did is, the prompt was, please build an economic model using an example to show weekly tax laws from a local government based on a change in the quantity demanded and a change in tax rates. Show all the steps taken to build the model. So first, what it did is it outlined the exact steps that were taken to build the model, and you can see it's building in the model as it's showing you the steps. And then, so I went through and it created a summary. I said, great, now please show me this model graphically. So now we can see the quantity demanded here on the y-axis and the tax rate here on the x.
Yeah.
So if we see here at the point of equilibrium, we can see that the tax revenue is at about 5,300, and the quantity demand is about
875.
875. Yeah. So, and that's at a tax rate of 12.5%. So,
Okay.
so that just kind of gives us an idea, and then we see the summary of the model here again, and then we can say, can you explain deadweight loss on this graph? It's a great question to ask, and then we can see it outlining the explanation of deadweight loss, and then we'll say, can you show us
I should know how to do this. We used to do this. It was a math class I used to take like in 5th grade. And we had to do this before for our science assignment. Because I went to a science and tech one, and I don't know, we were trying to figure out how many fireflies were in the water based off of, our examination. And then we had to do this little graph that was in the back of the book. It pops up every year for the rest of my time in school. This same type of thing, building graphs, is always at the end of the book.
Yeah. I mean, the great news is now we have so much software that helps us to
Yeah, it's more
build these
technology.
graphs.
That's what I'm trying to learn how to do it with technology. In the book, it would have an exercise, and you would have a ruler, and then you would have to put it at different points to build the bar and then build the real. So I'm just trying to figure out how to do it on the computer. It'll probably be maybe way more efficient, and I can use it every time.
I'm sure of it. So here we have the graphical representation of the deadweight loss. We can see the deadweight loss shaded in gray toward the bottom of the graph as an inverse relationship with the tax revenue, which is what we would expect. And we can see the overall effect where the deadweight loss takes place.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, it's when it comes to building it out in Copilot, Len, the biggest takeaway here is being really precise in your what you're asking it to do. So if you say,
And like right now, I got my calculator out. How would I make my letters now? And my key to explain my letters. And you know what I mean? The key, every time you do an algebraic or calculus calculation, you have a key. X equals growth, or Y equals business expenditures.
Yep.
And then you put the key there, and then you start doing the equations.
Yep.
So you can add up the bigger numbers quicker without going back and forth. 356.333. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, no, that's basically what this is doing, just in a,
Yeah,
in a computer format rather than on a calculator. But it's the same.
right.
It's the same logic. It's the same.
That's because I was trying to show my work, but with these, you gotta put in what X means. So that's why
Exactly.
I'm just trying to get this going so I can visually put it up there, so that me and the class can have this instead of waiting until finals to be freaking out about it.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. But yeah, this
I
this
hate
is
that
it.
part. I don't like feel stressed. I'm an older dude. I'm 45. When I
I
was a
hear you.
teenager, I would look for challenges. I'm not looking for any challenges. I want an A in every course, and I want to guarantee it early as possible.
Right. Right. I hear you. But yeah, this is how I will do it. It's just a matter of thinking about the most effective way of building it out, and
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, this is how I would do it.
And I'll just go back into my notes to see which one I have to add up first.
Mhm.
The demand, because it's different for each one that you ask us for. It's different. This week it would be tax. I think another
Yep.
week it was opportunity cost. It's
Correct.
different every week. It
Yes.
just picks my brain. I do good on if you listen or read the stuff that I read in the discussions, I definitely know what the content means.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Definitely understand it.
I see it.
It's just each math course or each economic course is to build the model. For me, my mind won't work until I can build the model. I hear you writing
Right.
the question, but unless I know how to build the model, if I can't show what I'm doing, I don't like just looking up the answer in the book or
Right.
online. I want to be able to take
Demonstrate.
this and I literally helped with the budget, and we now have a 6 month surplus
Wow,
for
that's great.
our expenditures here in the DC government. And I want to be able to show my numbers because
Sure.
my group successfully lobbied to raise up public safety and schooling and the schooling department and the DAW's training program and a couple other programs dealing with Crime Stoppers that we put in for the budget. And I want to be able to show in my next meeting, you know what I mean? So I like to show my work instead of having to add it up. It was hard. I got the paperwork here. We had to sit there and add it up for each department. I would just like to put some numbers and be able to use this graph since DC is paying for it and it's for DC's government, it sure would help.
That's right. Yeah, 100%. Well, cool.
PG's
Yeah.
government too.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Well, hopefully this helped. But yeah, it's a lot of it again just has to go back to the way that you ask Copilot what is it you're looking
Yeah.
for, plugging in the values, and then just telling it, show me step by step, how this is being built, and it'll do it. Do it.
Okay.
So
All right. So I got it now.
awesome.
Thank you.
Hey, my pleasure.
All right. I appreciate it, Dr. Professor, and having a great time with your course. I'm also looking at your accounting course 1 and 2 online with YouTube on the
Awesome.
side whenever I got free time.
Yeah.
Might as well prepare for it.
I teach it the same way I teach this course.
Yeah, it's all of it's interchangeable. I was just like, wow, while this still makes sense to me, I just started going over when I had some free time in accounting 1. I'm in accounting 2 now.
Yep.
So as far as that's concerned, because I've seen in the book, this course, actually, you must have a good class, because I've seen you teach this course on a couple years on different classes you have online, and the stuff we're covering is past where they were at. Some of those other
Yep.
courses stopped at way before where we're at. So
Yep.
that's a credit to you and a credit to whatever class you put together here.
Thanks. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
No,
want to
appreciate that.
give you praise for your lesson plan and
Thanks.
for whatever students you pick for this class, because we're way ahead of where you normally would be at.
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, we're doing real well this semester. So I'm happy about that. I'm not terribly thrilled about the outcome so far with the grades for the entire course, but
Yeah,
I think the second half that'll probably change a little bit.
yeah. I'm hoping with my discussion, and if I can, go in and kind of correct some of my problems, looking at this equation here, to be able to build out the model and maybe bring up my grade on a couple of these tests or something,
Mhm.
and get ready for this midterm. I'm hoping that I can keep my grade. I don't like to see. I want to get to that. Back
Oh,
to
I know
that
that's
B,
right. Yeah.
that BA area.
You'll
I
get
know
the-
I'm like
you'll
at a
get
B
there.
now, but I want to get back to an A. again as soon
We're-
as possible.
We're at the halfway mark, and as long as you do well in the midterm exam and
Yeah.
and everything passed here, you'll hit those marks.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I want to hopefully go from a B to A with the midterm.
That'd be great. So,
All
awesome.
right. I appreciate you, Professor, Dr. Professor, and
Yeah,
thanks a lot.
yeah. Thanks, Len. Appreciate you.
Thank you.